y'all. Hey, hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? I feel like it's been forever. You know what? One thing, first of all, let me know if my sound is good. I am doing using a different mic. So just tell me, drop a one if the sound is good. I suspect that it is. How are you guys doing on this fine Thursday evening here on the West Coast, nighttime on the East Coast? How y'all doing? Hopefully, this live finds you guys well. I am Melissa Varian, your host of Real Talk with Melissa Varian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have some a wide range of stories that I really, really need you guys to know about, but also I want to know what you guys have to say about it. So hang on tight. And y'all already know the ridiculous news section has a couple of stories packed into there. So I really want to know what you guys um, think about those stories as well. So what are y'all up to? I see you trash me waves. He's like, what's up? And just me, hey girl, hey, and Miss Ruby, hello, hello. So if you're coming in, you're catching the replay, don't forget to hit the like button as you leave out and make sure that you leave a comment because y'all know I will definitely comment as we get talk back and forth, especially if I ask y'all a question. Please comment as you answer. Anyway, listen, let me get to this first story because yesterday was a bunch of foolishness and mayhem all over Joe Biden's internet. Things were leaked. Things were, it was crazy, y'all. Good evening, Melissa and everyone. Hey, Velma, it's so good to see you. Listen, I'm going to start off a little silly, then I'm going to hit a little politics, and then we're going to come back. Listen, trash and waves. I see you thinking. Just sit for a second. My voice sounds weird. Okay, let me change my audio. I'm not going to use that audio.
A little robotic. Okay. What about now? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. It's always something when you're live streaming, but I miss live streaming. I dropped a few videos. Drop a one. It could be my internet. I ain't even gonna hold you. My internet just be like, that's better. Okay, okay, okay. I can't tell y'all how many mics I have. I don't even know. I feel like trashing this one and the rest of them. So anyway, you guys said it was better. I'm back. Y'all see the picture? Y'all see the picture? Let me wrong point. Yesterday was the day for the droppage of sex tapes. Okay. First, Nelly. Actually, there's one more. I'm missing one. First, it was Nelly. Then everybody clowned poor Nelly, and I was like, you know what? Leave Nelly alone. Nelly is a forever meme. Okay. Then after Nelly, there was Little Fizz, and then there was, see, I'm missing one. And then there was this, listen, again, unless you've been living under a rock and just have not been a part of it, I'm just here to say that yes, all these people have all these tapes that have dropped. People have become people are judging things. And here's the thing, ladies, because I'm going to speak to you, because it seems as if, first of all, forget all that. I'm going to get to that in a second. Nelly is like, oh, he came back and apologized, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, that was an accident. How do you accidentally upload a video like that? There's no accident in that. Like, I went through that in my head, and I was like, okay, the amount of steps that it takes for you to upload a video on any social media account is really, really, there's a lot of steps. So leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're buying this whole I did it on accident type thing. People are saying, you know what, Nelly needed exactly accidental clout chasing. That's my whole point. I'm like, you know what, ladies? First of all, he's like, I apologize to the girl and all this other stuff. Here's the thing. You guys just really need to make sure that the people that you're engaging with that don't engage in that, because you will become a forever meme, forever topic of discussion and everything else. Like, this girl's face is plastered all over, and everything else is plastered all over the internet. Like I said, yesterday was video dropping day, and let me know, like, how are y'all safe? How do y'all avoid that? Because again, I'm with Trash Hand Waves. It was absolutely attention seeking, clout chasing, and it was not an accident, because you guys know, even if you're on your computer, if I want to put a video out, there's like steps that you have to do, at least two. So stop. Come on now. Please. Exactly. Velma's like, that was not an accident. None of them were accidents. And I'm just telling you the point, number one, like I said, yesterday was sex tape day. But also, you in these relationships, and sometimes, a lot of times, these aren't even loving relationships or committed relationships. And you don't know what somebody's going to do with these videos and stuff like that. So be careful before you end up on the shade room or something because you're doing something. Anyway, shout out to Black History Month. Trash Can Wave says. So yeah, the videos are out, everybody going crazy, whatever. So yesterday was crazy because I'm telling you, first it was Nelly, and then another, and I'm like, okay, what is happening today? Why? So anyway, like I said, that was not an accident. I don't want to hear it, Nelly. I don't want to hear it, the rest of y'all. It's not an accident. Y'all clout chasing, and it's for attention. So boo, get out of here. Tomatoes. We're done. So the other thing that was breaking news the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is kind of like sounding like some of the reports of dementia is really, really becoming validated. Well, it's being reported that Wendy Williams had to solicit Wells Fargo and like, hey, release a girl's money. Like, where's my money? I can't pay my rent. I can't pay. It's saying that she can't pay anything. And so as a result, she's behind on her bills. And Wells Fargo is like, listen, we helped refroze your account because the person that you had over your account told us like you shouldn't have any access to your money. I was just like, oh my goodness. Okay. So again, it's giving me little Britney Spears vibes, even though Britney is somewhere spinning around, she is still spinning and tap dancing. But it seems like Wendy is really in trouble in one way or another. So much so, it is also being reported. Not only does she not have access to her money, not only does it seem like people are just kind of distancing themselves from them. Now it's being reported that Sherri Shepherd is closing in on a deal to take over the show. Listen, when it was first reported, it was like, listen, Sherri's the person. She's got, at first, the way they said it was she would be temporarily over the show. So it wasn't going to become the Sherri Shepherd show for permanently. But what they did announce was like, hey, Wendy's not coming back this season. Well, no kidding. We kind of figured that at this point. I don't know what's going on with Wendy. I would rather leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would rather. Would you rather them just stop stringing people along? Those of us that watched her show really want to hear from her. Or would you rather them just keep stringing us along and having these guest hosts, Michael Report and Sherri and this one, or just name a permanent host and say, listen, Wendy's not coming back. Something tells me that there's something in the contract, legality, and to the fact that Wendy is not as far gone with dementia as they are claiming she is. I'm kind of back and forth with this because the last time we saw Wendy, she was walking around. Granted, she was a little barefoot, okay, but she was walking around. She seemed fine. Velma says yes, they're trying to do conservatorship on Wendy. I think exactly. I think that that she's probably done some things to deem herself incomparable, but I don't know. Because here's the thing, they must have some sort of documentation for them to be able to freeze her money. But Wendy is not all gone, it sounds like, because she's like, hold up, where's the rest of my money? Run me my money. Let me fix Miss Bang. Run me my money. So that begs me to wonder, like, okay, is this dementia story something that's being conjured up by her camp, her old camp? But listen, the post that I saw from Sherri was like, listen, I'm waiting on, basically Sherri was like, listen, I'm waiting on the good news to come for my family, for my show. I'm waiting on it. Thank you, God, for what you're going to do. So someone's talking to Sherri. We're in the middle, like, okay, Wendy's not fully gone because they're not fully taking the show from her. But then on the flip side, we have all these guest hosts. just name. I think I would prefer. I don't need to know Wendy's medical history, but if she's done, she needs to be done. But her true diehard fans are holding on for hope as if she's coming back. And it's being reported that when and if Sherri gets this contract to take over the show's name's going to change. Leave a comment. Let me know if you think the name of the show should change to the Sherri Shepherd Show, or until things are permanent, or until they tell us what the heck is really going on with Wendy, keep it the Wendy Williams Show with the permanent guest host of Sherri Shepherd. It's a good week for Sherri Shepherd, though. Let's hope her ex is not part of the conservatorship. Um, M. Mill says exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know who the heck Wendy would have in her on in her team that would be able to go behind her back and freeze her funds to the point where and they're freezing it and she doesn't have access to it, but then her bills aren't being paid. Like, what we gotta like, listen, y'all can't do Wendy like that, because we hear a lot of stuff about Wendy, but one thing we never heard was that Wendy didn't pay her bills or shop. So yeah. Trash Can Way, salute, Uncle Stu, old man on the block. Hey, I think Sherri did a good job on Wendy's show. Yes, Ruby, I came back. I ate crow because I wasn't sure Sherri could hold her own. But listen, Sherri is holding her own. She is bringing in the ratings. So I think she would be a great replacement. However, are we excited about Sherri because she's co-hosting, or will Wendy's fans transfer and become Sherri's fans? That is the question of the hour. Um, Velma says, no, I think they need just one host. It needs to stay as Wendy's show, hosted by Sherri Shepherd. Wendy worked hard for this. I agree 100%. If Wendy is conscious enough and aware enough to say, no, do not give her my show, she needs to work on herself, whatever that means, so that she can get back in that chair. But if it's over, they need to say, Wendy, it's over. But there's something going on, whether it's Wendy's cognitive abilities or the fact that it's the contract, I don't know. But there's something going on where they just will not give it fully to Sherri. They're not coming out and just saying Wendy's done. And I have needs to know. I need to know. Give Sherri her own show. Okay. So Velma's like, listen, if Wendy's done, because that's Wendy's show, close it out. Final episode. Give Wendy her final say. Give Wendy a monologue, a montage. Give her a video, and then we close it down. And give Sherri let Sherri ride off Sherri's. If Sherri really has what she says she has, give her a slot and let her prove herself. Is that what you guys are saying? That's a good point. That's fair enough, because, like you said, Wendy earned this. Those are Wendy's fans. Those are Wendy's viewers. You know, it's just like when, I guess, I don't know, but I've seen people go, hey, buy my YouTube channel. I've seen that on Instagram. I don't know how people do that, but it's the same thing. If you're buying people's stores or Instagrams or Facebook or whatever, you're buying their business and they've already have the followers and everything else. That doesn't mean that you'll be able to keep those people. They may not like you when it's fully given over to you. So it could be that Wendy's fans are just being gracious, that they're being, but I'm not gonna do Sherri like that. I ain't gonna do her like that, because Sherri really has been doing well. Bless Reborn. Hey girl, hey, good to see you. I'm so glad to see you on the live. I miss you guys. Listen, y'all, I agree with Velma. Give Sherri her own show. Give Sherri her own show and let her prove that all of Wendy's people will follow her. And this just wasn't a sympathy view, or just people being nosy, or people just saying, you know what, I'll watch this until Wendy come back. And then Sherri will really have something to prove. So, hey, both of these women have to pay their true. Both of the men do have to pay the child support to their ex-husbands. That part, very good part. Their exes. That's right. Trash Can Wave says, I'm indifferent. You know what? As somebody that would love to have their own show, as someone that would have loved to step in for Wendy, I can see where Sherri's just like, in the middle, because I'd feel some kind of way if I were Wendy. I'd be like, you know what? That's my show. All my, like, no, let her earn her keep, so to speak. Now, Sherri has definitely earned her keep. The ratings say it, they reflect it, but in the true sense of this being Wendy's show, absolutely. Give her her own slot, let her earn her keep, and then let the numbers say what they're going to say, because the headline of it being the Wendy Williams show was going to come with clout anyway. That's what I think. Um, shout out to you, Trash Can Waves, because I told you we were going to talk about Joe Rogan, but I think I want to do a. I'm going to come live and we're going to talk about him separately. Tonight's lineup, we are going to get on your boy. We're going to get on a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you're just peeking in, y'all, this is just our second story. The first story was kind of a lightweight one, because I was just talking about the fact that all these dudes just decided to go viral yesterday with all these sex tapes that were accidentally released. But you guys just are coming in on my Wendy Williams piece. And so, with all due respect to Wendy, who definitely gives a lot of us who are doing what I'm doing right now, um, she paved the way. I say, you know what? Give Sherri her own show and just leave Wendy alone. Shannon's like, hey, I'm late, but I arrived. Hey, girl. Hey, listen, I'm just getting started. So, yeah, I think they should give the show to Melissa Berrien and call it a day. The ratings will go through the roof. I agree. That would be a dream. That would be an absolute dream. That is the goal. That is the goal. But in the meantime, I'm going to run this show right here in this spot. So thank you guys for watching and supporting. Absolutely. They definitely purposely uploaded for Hump Day. Right. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. So anyway, you guys got to rewind. This is the story that Shannon is talking about. You guys got to rewind so you can listen. Yesterday was a mess. It was a mess, y'all. Speaking of a mess, we got to talk about it. Your boy, Trash Can's boy, is in the news as always. Like, this dude just stays in the news. And I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I find him very entertaining in the sense of, yes, he is not a traditional politician. He is not following the rules. He has never followed rules. He's never fit himself in the box. And I was here for it. And I was here for it until he was elected. And then I was like, oh, I missed some of the presidential acumen, procedures, processes. I missed some of that. Well, he's gone. He's out of there. But the stories keep coming more and more and more. Now, here is a caveat to all of this. One thing I cannot stand, especially as it relates to stories like this, if you're going to whistleblow, I find you less credible if you want to talk while you're out of office. Once he's out of office, once he's gone. Now all of a sudden, oh, he eats documents and he never did this and he never did that. I have zero respect for that, because these are very important processes that you should have said something and not now. Well, Melissa, what the heck are you talking about? Well, you see it. I always point wrong. That's your boy, Trump. He made the headlines this week because as the January 6th committee is doing what they're doing, digging into whatever the hell they're digging in for, whatever the hell they're digging in for it, they came to the conclusion that there is a gap in information, the flow of information related to that day. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm not going to assume that everybody knows the process for presidents and their everyday communications and meetings. Everything has to be archived. Everything has to be documented and classified, where there's going to be top secret. It can go to his library, whatever, but it's not up to the president that's in office to decide whether things will be a part of that archive. So for an example, they can't use their personal phone calls for official business, cell phones. If there's a meeting, there needs to be someone taking minutes. January 6th, if someone was calling him, if he was calling them, whatever, they have to log all of that. Well, Two things broke. Don't worry, we're gonna get on Biden. Don't worry, we're gonna get on B Robinette. Because you know Robinette is not having a good week either. Y'all. So it's being reported that the January 6th committee is like, listen, we went down to the Mar-a-Lago to pick up some records. Wait, I'm mixing up two stories. The January 6th committee is saying that they in sync had to get some, what is it, 15 cases? Y'all see the picture right here. 15 cases of records that this man just decided, I'm leaving and I'm gonna take this stuff with me. Okay. And he just walked out the doggone good White House, the people's White House, with things that should have stayed and been archived. But then as this story is breaking, the aides and this one and that one are coming out and they're like, hey, but that's nothing. His toilets were forever clogged because he was balling it up and throwing it away. One aide even came in and said, listen, Melissa, I know you like burgers. I know you like salads, but listen, Trump was known to just eat on. Listen, this meeting is over. So let me just, this is real classified. I don't want nobody to know about. Gnawing on the paper and ate it. And so that's what I'm talking about. When I started, I'm like, sis, you didn't think that that was information that the American public should have known while it was happening, if it was happening? You wait till now to say something. Well, they don't even know. They as they were getting the records, they said, listen, they literally have to tape the papers back together because President Trump decided to either tear it or whatever. This dude cracks me up. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, I'm telling you, I am one that wanted him to continue to tweet and everything else because I always like to know what he was up to. So let me get in the comment section before I move on. Now, does that sound plausible? Trump ate 15 cases of document. No, he did not eat 15 cases of document. They got the documents from Mar-a-Lago. Now, he is denying. Let me add this. He is denying eating the documents. He is denying flushing documents over the time that he was there. However, he cannot deny the fact that there's the picture right there that people had to get 15 boxes of records and documents from Mar-a-Lago. So that he cannot deny. So the other things is just hearsay at this point, unless they have it on video or whatever. And so I believe it. To be honest with you, I believe it. I believe that, because here's the thing. Yeesh, what a man child. Listen, I wish that we had like a big brother cam in the White House when dude was in the White House. It would have been the best entertainment ever because they had already told us, like, listen, during the meetings, Trump was like me during meetings. When I worked outside of the home, the worst thing for me is to be in one of y'all little meetings because I'm doodling, I'm coloring, I'm texting, I'm doing whatever. Like, I can't stand meetings because I don't know why. I just get very distracted. I don't want to hear it. Send an email. I'll listen. I get it. They said Trump was the same way, and this was while he was in office. So I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I believe that he. And here's the thing: just because the January 6th committee is asking for these records and they're saying, "Hey, there's a gap," it doesn't mean that people would. This goes two ways. It doesn't necessarily. It really could have been that Trump was not taking phone calls during that time. But the problem is there were many people that were saying like, "Hey, we really did call him during that time." His son said he tried to call him. None of that is logged in the official records. That is the problem. I'm surprised they don't have it. He did all that, then some. Nobody could control. No one can control, dude. You understand me? And it's funny, but it's not. And so, like I said, I appreciate it when he was tweeting because I knew what he was doing. I knew what was on his mind, that type of thing. He was transparent. So I didn't have a problem with it. I know a lot of, oh my God, get him off Twitter. No, he needed to stay on Twitter because it was like he gave us the transparency in office that we wanted, but without the foolishness and mayhem. I didn't want the foolishness and mayhem. Do I believe that he ignored protocol and tore up papers that was in? Absolutely. Absolutely, he did. I believe he did it. Velma says, not surprised at all. Now, does that sound plausible? Trump 8:15. So anyway, he said that. You sure did. I'm impatient. Um, they were scared to say anything to Trump is extremely vindictive. And exactly. He was extremely vindictive, and you couldn't tell that man anything. I just find all of this funny because if you were following me around the time that the transfer of power was happening and they were packing Trump up and everything, in my head, I had all these scenarios. Like Trump was tearing down Lincoln's statue, like he was putting a mustache on Obama. He was peeing in the bathroom floor of the. Listen, I felt like he was having a whole tantrum leaving that place. So much so, it followed with, I'm not going to see Pence or Biden, and Pence went. In my head, all of what's happening played out in my head. He was not being a fair player. And this lines right up with that. Absolutely. He sat through meetings that he didn't want nobody to know about, and he didn't tell them. Absolutely. And my only thing is, if this was I say this so much, if this was any other president, y'all would be losing y'all's mind. M. Mill says, I'm sick of him. I'm going to add the A. I'm sick of him. XDMC, I always wear a mask when I shoot my footage. Oh, Lord, don't. Bless reborn spirit. Yeah, so Trump train. No, that's not Trump train. That is Police for Trump. And so the other part is, see, I knew this story was going to take a long time because y'all are some intelligent people around here and y'all like to have silly conversation, good conversation. But anyway, the other part that was trending on Twitter was that a lot of people were like, the Republicans are really, really quiet now. Democrats were like, oh, what were Democrats saying? They were like, why are we always finding out all these crimes and Trump's not getting in trouble? Republicans, and then the Democrats were also saying like, the Hillary, the emails, oh, the Republicans are quiet now because remember, what about our emails? What about this? Because it's the same kind of thing with Hillary. So here's the thing. Bottom line, point blank. Yes. Obama, if any of these things would have happened under Obama, Bush, and all these other people, listen, it would be breaking news every 5 minutes. And it's being suggested, it's being people are wondering, what did he do with these archives, these documents? Like, did he sell them? What's going on? There's a lot to be said here about this situation. And I'm joking about it, but this is serious because for someone to take it upon themselves to behave the way he did while he was in office, pretty much whether you supported him or not, he didn't care about any of y'all's protocols. Point blank, period. Sometimes it was funny to me, and sometimes I was like, "Ooh, Trump, no, no." But this right here is very serious because it really, really shows like we really should know what he was doing, not just on January 6th. It's the fact that these aides are coming out all of a sudden and wanting to tell on him. Oh, he was doing this and he was doing that and he was chewing the paper. And I came back in and these people tell you he was tearing up documents. He wasn't reading the briefings. He didn't have time for that. Give me a Coke. That's concerning. But at the end of the day, you know what I always ask? What's going to happen to him? Leave a comment down below, especially those of you who are catching the replay. Let me know if there's something that you think will come out of this legal-wise. Because what I forgot to mention was the National Archives has requested the Department of Justice to investigate this. This is that serious, y'all. And I didn't pull it up, and I can pull it up, but this is, let me see if I have it, because sometimes I have it. But these documents are to be protected. They're supposed to be archived, but then also this is illegal. Like, this isn't just people going after him in the we're just picking on him. We're just picking on him. No, like, This is a process that should have happened under all presidents. He should not have been able to carry his Gucci luggage. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if he had Gucci luggage, but hey, um, somebody said not a doggone thing. He shouldn't be rolling his luggage through the airport, going down to the Mar-a-Lago with the National Archives, with the documents. Come on, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. I don't care. You got to admit that this is wrong. You don't have to. But the cognitive dissonance among his starch supporters is absolutely ridiculous. Because if you're on a Trump train, this should at least make you pause the train a little bit and go, now this right here is wrong, according to the party of law and order. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, Congress were signing 4,000-page bills over the course of one day, claiming they read all 4,000 pages. Both things can be true, because we all know, again, I don't play the whataboutism thing, trash can, you know that, trash can ways. So at the end of the day, yes, if you know anything about bills, okay, hair, come on now, kombucha, where's my sound machine? Come on. Exactly, who knows what happens? Hold on. Super chat said, okay, hair. And then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make dinner. Anyway, two things can be true, trash can ways, because if you know the guys, if you know the size of a bill, you got to be one committed person to read all of that. Thank you, Kombucha. It's so good to see you, my dear. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is well. Up there. No, up there in Oregon. Good to see you, baby girl. So two things can be true, trash can ways. So he's talking about the bill. Absolutely. Bills are thousands of pages sometimes, most times. The truth of the matter is they really have to comb through. I'd separate that sucker and give it to people. You could be absolutely right. People are signing bills, but that's why I love the fact that they have committees, and there are people that sometimes commit themselves to reading section, and that's how they can find a little snippet. Like, oh, this bill said da 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 da. Oh, but they added right here before games, everybody got to pledge the book, whatever. That's beside the point. I don't play whataboutisms. Right now, this time, what we're talking about, if you're on the Trump train, what I'm holding you to task is, if this was anyone else, any other president, number one, this is serious. There's so many implications here. So many implications, because we don't know what he was doing with those documents. Again, like he said in his own video, when he was talking, see, it's nice and funny until the rabbit got the gun. When he was pointing at Hillary, rightfully so, everybody should be mad. If anybody has nothing to hide, why are they? And now look at him. This is what he said. I was going to pull up that video. His own words are coming back to him. And again, fair is fair. I don't have allegiance to either one of the sides. So I'm going to look at it in the middle. Both things can be true. This is not good. And we laughed and of course, don't get me wrong, his tweets, like I said, used to crack me up. But when stuff like this continues to come out about how unprecedented his behavior was while in office, it's disturbing. It's disturbing that people allowed this to happen. He pissed on the office as far as decorum was concerned, as far as I'm concerned. He knows what happened. He sure does. Kombucha salute. He probably ripped it up and issued out pieces for his aides to help him out too. Exactly. And here's one thing on that, talking about his aides and stuff. Hey, Vaughn, good to see you. One thing that I'm baffled with, and because with him, and if it's found that he did this intentionally, which there is a clause in the law to say that he cannot run for office again. So the Dems were really excited about that. A lot of people on Twitter was like, yeah, get him, lock him up, that whole thing. But What's really going to happen to him? I'll wait. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They already know what's in the bill and it has to be approved before it gets to the signature stage. Thank you, M. Mills. With the fine tooth comb. That's how come they'll halt the bill, like I said, when someone tries to sneak something in. Because they do try to sneak things in because it is such a large document. Trash Can Way says, okay, Hillary Clinton didn't get in trouble for having a personal computer or government information and documents and her mishap in Benghazi. It's not a, but the other part is you got to understand. So Trump just doesn't have to be held accountable for any of his actions. I don't believe that. Like I said, he protected documents and forced them to have acknowledged when they confiscated them instead of destroying them. Come on. Come on. Are you saying that he protected them by taking them to Mar-a-Lago instead of putting them in the process? Come on, child, I can't even. He has no allegiance to the United States. He can take the documents to foreign enemies. That's what some people are implying. Those documents are worth a lot of money. Crossed fingers. Democrats tried to sneak a lot of stuff in them bills. Yeah, it happens. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about holding Trump accountable to his lack of respect and observance of the rules that were in place for him, to the point where they knew he wasn't paying attention to the briefings. He said it. Yeah, I don't read that. It's not his favorite part of the day. He's the freaking president of the United States. He knows what the policy is for documents, so much so, like I said, he ran on it. So anyway, you got to hold, yes, you do have to hold the whole system accountable. I'm not saying that, but the conversation happened 3 years ago about that. I'm having the conversation right now in this moment about Trump. That's the only thing we're going to talk about as far as that particular thing is. Because here's the thing, we can go around like a dog chasing his tail. Look at me being a dog mom, knowing about dogs chasing tails. Okay. Anyway, we can go around in a circle and go, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And I just think for the topic of conversation right now, should he be held accountable? Yes. Is this serious? Yes. Is this a reflection of his lack of decorum for the office of the and respect for the office of presidency? In my opinion, yes. That's all I'm talking about. Now, if he decides to, if there's a debate that needs to happen and then we want to start the whataboutisms, that's a good place to do the whataboutisms, but not when we're trying to hold this man accountable to what we know he did. We know he did it. Well, I don't want to go on to a tangent because y'all know I can about that one. Here's Robinette, child. Robinette's not having a good week. Joe Biden. He's not having a good week. Well, first of all, why isn't he having a good week? Let me get some of this. Let me get some of this out of here. First of all, the first things I probably shouldn't even have to tell you because a lot of people are complaining. You know what? Before I do that, let me hit you guys with this commercial because a lot of you are new here. A lot of you are peeking in, and there's something I would like you to do. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. So if you've been peeking in, you're catching a replay, or you've been around and you have not subscribed yet, what the heck are you waiting on? It's absolutely free. And you know what else is free? Hitting that like button. Hit the like button. If you like what you see on my channel, you're enjoying the engagement, you're enjoying the conversation, I'd appreciate it. It lets YouTube know that this girl's got something going on. Okay. Anyway, Robinette, the first part of the story that I'm going to be talking about is, you guys, they're reporting increases at the pump, the food, the housing, everywhere. It's a mess. And for those that are underserved, on or below the poverty line, trying to just make it out in these United States, people are really feeling it. If you are blessed to not really be affected by this, only in a first world kind of way, meaning, oh, my wood that I was building my blah 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 is too high, or y'all get it. My Amazon package is taking too long. That's first world problem. People are really feeling it. So much so, it's being yes, it's being reported, unfortunately, for us in America. Because here's the thing, we're all in this together, regardless of what your socioeconomic status is, what how your neighbor is, some kind of way affects us. So the inflation in the US has climbed 7.5% over the past year, the highest level in 40 years. That is not good. It is something that we are seeing being reflected in so many ways and in so many areas. The inflation of the United States continues its historic rise in January, the Commerce Department said in its monthly report on Thursday. Now, one thing I did read, which was interesting, was that the jobs, unemployment went down. So inflation up, jobs down, unemployment down. So by more than 7%, the department said prices for goods in the United States increased by 7.5% during the 12-month span. And we see it. Everything from cars, lumber, homes. They said the housing market is about to go crazy again. I don't know if you're renting, I don't know if you're buying, but I can tell you like this, now would be a good time to get your butt on the buying train if you can. If you are renting, pray, fingers crossed, and everything that your landlord doesn't increase the rent. I know the rent prices around here, from what I understand, is absolutely insane. You know, we have the little neighborhood watch, and people are like, oh, I'm looking for a house to rent, whatever, whatever. And the thing about it is, they may be insane, but the demand is so high, homes go so fast. They're going so quickly. And so, again, we're seeing it in the gas. It's the chicken one week, the bread the next, the lettuce the next, lumber. What's the one? Car part, whatever that car part is, that's not, listen, and it's only going to get worse allegedly. Now, again, I'm not an economist, but I do see, we can all look around and see, like, what the heck is going on. So Biden, his approval rating continues to drop. A lot of people are really upset because there seems to be a lack of micromanaging the vision of the whole country. So what do I mean by that? It seems like Biden's like, oh, COVID, COVID, COVID. Okay, yep, that's what I'm talking about, and that's what I'm focusing on for this week. In the meantime, while economy is tanking, and then in the meantime, infrastructure is tanking. And so one thing that a good leader should have around him is a great team, and a great team who will be able to put out all the fires, especially as president. Hell, this is not management at McDonald's. Like, this is not Chick-fil-A line. Like, this is the freaking United States of America. And so Biden's approval is continuing slowly, but people are really basically losing confidence in his ability to manage all the things. A lot of people feel like, hey, run us our student loan forgiveness. Some people are like, listen, you need to stimulate the economy. Some people are like, no, do not stimulate the economy. And then up in all of that, you have this Russia, Ukraine, what some people are suggesting is a false flag. So leave a comment down below. Are you surprised about this inflation news? So anyway, inflation for America and giving breaks to China. Oh, where is it? Yeah, okay, well, here we go. Yes, this is a whole mess right now. It is. It is. And a lot of people are suggesting, like, hey, dude, you better get this together before midterms. And you definitely better get it together before it's time for reelection. I don't see it. Now, again, I don't know who y'all are going to put up, Democrats. I do not know. I don't know who would be a formidable candidate for Republicans, because right now, I don't see it. I do not see Joe Biden being reelected. But who you got, Dems? Who you got? Yes, it was the largest inflation in such a short period of time in history. And the last time that it happened, I want to say they were like in the 1980s, I want to say, the last time Worst president ever, some people think. Inflation for America and giving breaks to China. Everything at the grocery store is high. It is. It's insane, you know. And I feel sorry for people that were already struggling to make ends meet and get their meals. And then now it's like, listen, because of the state of America, it's worse. More money printed now than in the past. Exactly. Well, I said that over the last couple of years, you know, when everybody wanted to be stimulated. I said this is not good for the country. Yes, I understand COVID had a lot of people at home. Everyone's partying because, oh, I'm getting this quote free money, but you just cannot print money like that. I said that. You just can't give that money like that. The rent is crazy. Yes, Velma, rent is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So y'all hang in there. Yes, the chip for the car. So now the supply for cars is the supply of cars are down. So because of that, the used cars, the prices are ridiculous. And they're saying, listen, we can't get new cars out for you. Making it way harder on the common working man and woman after all the tax breaks and pay increases under Trump. Where my President Trump at? Well, here's the thing. A lot of working class people don't, of course, they don't get those tax breaks. And a lot of people are seeing the decrease as a result of receiving all those stimulus. And they're like, wait a minute, my refund is low. You guys have to read into these things when, you know, there's these programs or stimulus packages that are being released in the fine print, because a lot of people really thought like, oh, I'm going to get this child tax credit, and no, it was what you were going to get anyway. Now you don't get it. And for those of you that, or people that wait to file their taxes to have money, or however you want to say it, like they depend on tax returns, I'll say it that way, it's not looking good for you either. Poor man don't have a chance under Biden, while the rich man making money off the stock market under Biden. It's scary because a lot of people are complaining. A lot of people are trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet. And the inflation reflects that. Someone said they had to a pack of Someone said they had a pack of oxtails for $75. They would have sat right there. Are you kidding me? Let me tell y'all a secret. I I used to cook oxtails all the time. But then get you guys some braised, some beef short ribs. They taste just the same. I cook the short ribs the same way I do my oxtails. They taste the same, especially when they fall off the bone. Again, beef short ribs. Very good. Very, very good. So anyway, Trump or Ron DeSantis. Trump or Ron DeSantis. I think they're gearing up Ron DeSantis. I think DeSantis is trying to get his engine going. I think that's going to be one. DeSantis or DeSantis is Florida, right? Florida or the one in Texas. In regards to fixing inflation. Okay, I wouldn't buy that pack. Yeah, she said, "Oh, I wouldn't buy that pack." No, nope. I'd say the tech. Ducey, my governor, he's a Republican, and he's very much in Trump's front pocket, but he's not. I don't think he's a strong enough leader. I don't think he's a strong enough leader. DeSantis, listen, DeSantis don't care, so he need to go. Hey, Natasha, good to see you. Florida, listen, we talk oxtails, and I have to stop stalking from here in. Listen, yes, and here's the thing: the beef short ribs have gone up, but at least they're nowhere near as high as the oxtails. I've made them, and I was like, this tastes like it's the same thing. So try it out. Trash can waves. Everybody say hi. So anyway, that's the first part of Biden's week. Like, It's just one thing after another. It's the same thing. It's like the battle of the presidents, 45 and 46, going at it on who can become viral the most. Well, then we have this, I don't want to say it's what? The crack pipe story. Biden went viral as a result of this initiative that his administration announced, that they're going to promote preventive care for abuse, drug abuse, by sending out these, not sending out, but providing, making available, which is not a new thing. It's not a new thing at all. A lot of people are freaking out. It's not a new thing at all. There are several states that have programs, preventative measures, that clean needle programs, all of that. And a lot of people were up in arms because it was like, hey, so you're going to supply crack pipes to addicts, you're going to supply syringes, whatever. So two things. I don't know why this story triggered a lot of people, because again, I've heard this happening a lot of times. Perhaps people were triggered because it was coming from the Biden administration and not on a state level. I wasn't quite sure. The other part is that they eventually came out and they was like, hold up, no, 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 no. You guys are taking this out of proportion. We're not surprised. We're not supplying pipes. This is definitely preventive measures that we want to take, but we want to make sure that if they do have a syringe, that they use a clean syringe. We want to make sure they use all this stuff. So a lot of people are up in arms because they're like, listen, don't supply them with that. And then you have people on the other side of the aisle that are like, well, if we don't supply it, then it's gonna increase the rates of diseases and all this other stuff. Where are you in the conversation? Do you think that these programs, whether it's at the federal level or the state level, that is supposed to be, because you have, what is the methadone labs, like that, this isn't new. But again, I think because it was something that just came out from the Biden administration, and then the word kit, I think, was triggering, because it was like, okay, what's in the kit? I said, and someone else on Twitter said, like, listen, you probably would have avoided all of this confusion if you would have showed us what the kit looked like. Like, Hello Fresh or Bomba Socks or the Pajama Club or the Steak Club or whatever. They, when you go on their website, they show us, hey, Book of the Month Club. Show us what the heck you are going to do and why you're doing it. Well, after all the backlash, there's so much backlash, Biden, the administration, not Biden, but well, Biden did, but the committee came back and said, listen, we're not supplying syringes. That's not what we're doing. We're not supplying crack pipes. Hold your horses. At this point, you're going to have to show us what the emergency kit's going to look like. You're going to show us the medical. You're going to have to show us to believe it. And that's where I'm at. I don't believe you, because as much as I know that this was probably a preventive measure program, let me find the direct quote. It's called the HHS. A spokesperson for the HHS said, including in these kits could be pipes for users to smoke substances like crack cocaine and crystal meth. I don't agree with that. I'm with Charlemagne. I saw a soundbite. Can we focus on preventive measures by working on our mental health, working on the trauma that causes people to want to do drugs and escape reality, deal with the pain, go back to even having the initiatives in schools? Because here's the thing, you can't tell nobody's kids nothing nowadays. Can't tell them anything. I believe some parents nowadays will have attitude if the DARE program came to the school, because you just literally can't tell these people kids nothing. The kid looked like a Happy Meal for the toy, with the toy as a crack pipe. I can't. We need more crack pipes in urban communities for our youth, Melissa. No, we don't. That was not the answer. And of course, they were like, oh, it's the underserved communities. So y'all know what that means. So maybe these committees need to begin to have people that represent all walks of life and then filter some of the things that they're going to put out, filter it through a lot of eyes before you bring it to the press. Because you got a lot of people up in arms. And then me personally, I'm like, no, you were going to do it. You were, I believe they were. They backtracked. I told y'all that, the administration to get on their skates and go and back skate real smoothly. But again, these programs aren't new. I do understand that. But I would like to know, and perhaps I'll research it and come back on Monday. Because here's the thing. Let me tell y'all something. Let me take a break. I don't like going live just on Thursday and Friday. I got to bring back my Monday or Tuesday. No, ma'am. No, ham. This was too long of a break. I tried to upload the video. Y'all was like, that's cute, but where you at? So drop a 1 if y'all like, we liked a lot the cute uploads, but we want to see you. And I'll be back Monday and Tuesday, or definitely on both. And I'm going back to my old schedule. That's what I'm saying. Because coming back just on Thursday on live, couldn't do it. Don't like it. Nope. Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Nope. Anyway, this type of program. So drop a heart if you agree with that. Drop a heart if you like, nah, sis, this whole Thursday and then you here with Lauren on Friday. We only get you for one day, really? No. Drop a heart. Let me know if you're feeling me. I don't care if you're feeling me or not. I'll be back earlier in the week like I was before. I don't like it. Too much of a space away from my people, away from my family. Anyway, so, like I said, they have the methadone clinics where, they come in and they try to hit clean, or the clean needle programs, but I mean, do what you love. You know what I love what I do. I love what I do. But here's the thing, my uploads, y'all be like, listen, no, go live. No, immediately, no. We've seen all that we needed to see. Look, Biden y'all president, and he determined y'all black people out of line and need more crack pipes in the community to get y'all black back in check. Listen, first of all, just like Trump was everybody's president, and including people that was like, not my president, Biden is everyone's president. And the truth of the matter is, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of these initiatives really come off as, we didn't ask for that. If you want to go to the underserved community, start talking about fair policing. Give Flint some damn clean water. Start promoting equity in education. Start promoting financial courses in the community. It also is giving that these are only problems that are in the urban communities. And we absolutely, positively know that that's not true. Hey, Natasha, we used to seeing you live. I know. I'm going to add another day back because it just feels too long. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we know that that's not true. Do you want clean water, or would it be more beneficial to have more crack? Exactly. It's like you keep missing it. He keeps missing it. Like, that's not what people aren't asking for that. Let me move over some. That's not what the community needs, bro. You start working on people's mental health. You start working on their emotional health, their education. You won't need crack pipes or anything. But to end, I do think that initially that was going to be included. And they was like, oh, shoot. Okay, that triggered some folks. I don't know if it was just those of us that grew up in that generation where crack was a problem, all of that. Yeah, no. Trash Can said, sorry, but it's too much. I agree. Trash Can Ways, we don't care about either party. We about who looking out for, period, in Mills. I don't have an allegiance to either one of them because they don't care about it. Listen, my interest is what matters. That's where I vote as an independent. So, let me see. What's next? Oh, so yeah, this whole crack pipe thing, that story is going to keep going. And and like I said, I was on Twitter and they was mocking it, and they kept freaking uploading admin addendums to it, and just kidding, we didn't say that, and this is what it says, and this is what it says. Listen, bottom line, if you're putting forth a policy that causes that much confusion, you should have had it proofread, um, where there's no need for interpretation. Because one part said, where is it? It said, um, so again, this is talking about the Health and Human Services in 2000. Um, did require recipients to provide safer smoking kits, because that's what they sold it as, safer smoking kits, to existing drug users. In distributing grants, priority would be given to applicants serving historically underserved communities. Well, you know what they're trying to say with that. We don't need that. We don't need that. So critics are mocking, and then I'm looking at this list. Let me share this. Let me share this screen, because someone did the due diligence to actually go through and show us what will be in it. So here it is. If the HHS Gov is concerned with funding crack pipes for addicts, will paint HHS in a bad light. They should cancel their plan to fund crack pipes for addicts. So again, he's being facetious. Like, he's like, listen, if y'all keep coming saying y'all not gonna do it, why is it in your wording? And here it is right here. The highlighted part says safe smoking kits / supplies. And then it says sharp disposable medication, disposal kits, substance test kits, syringes to prevent the control and spread of infectious disease, vaccination services, wound care management, um, let's see, safe sex kits, all of that. So again, HHS initially cast doubt on the reporting, calling it blatant misinformation. That was the word of the week. Oh no, it's misinformation, whatever. But then they had to come back and say, you know what, we're not going to distribute it. I think it was a part of the plan initially. And then they realized, okay, we caused quite a stir. Just kidding. And then they backtracked. So, hey, Melissa. Hey, Robin. Good to see you. Hey, Carol. Hey. I thought about you. I need to call you. Mills, that's how I feel. Vote for your best interest. No allegiance. No allegiance at all. So I'm gonna keep y'all abreast on what the heck is happening with these kits. And as we are waiting on that, y'all, it's ridiculous. I have two more stories. Hang in there because they're funny. They're not funny, but they are. Okay. And you know what section they're a part of. All right. Well, it's the ridiculous news section. And I have a couple of stories. I was actually looking for some Karen videos because I miss our little Karen segments. Um, but I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. And y'all like, okay, so what's tomorrow? Tomorrow, join me live with Lauren Melissa, where we do a show. It's called Sipping and Just Saying. And we take our little drinks, whether it's water, tea, a shot. She made tequila, whatever you drink. It does not have to be alcohol. But we just sit and have a good time talking about all kind of crazy stories, kind of like some of the ones that we're talking about now, but we get in depth. We might even talk about these folks here, the eggplant crew. I know me and Lauren going to talk about it tomorrow. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out already, last week's Sipping and Just Saying is already posted and it's on there. So go check it out. Anyway, this is, what's this grandma's name? She's a nun. I keep calling her a nun, grandma. This is a California nun, and she has to serve a year in prison for stealing $835,000 from an elementary school to support her gambling habit in an emotional case that left Los Angeles families and even a federal judge who handed down a sentence. Really? Sister Mary Margaret Cooper. She's 80 years old, friends. Are y'all feeling sorry for the nun? Now, again, let me say that price. She stole over almost $1 million, 835,000. Are you feeling sorry for Sister Mary Margaret Cooper, 80, who pled guilty to wire fraud and money laundering for stealing the money over the course of 10 years while she was the principal at St. James Catholic School? She asked the judge not to send her to prison. She said, I have sinned. I've broken the law and I have no excuses. Now, here's the thing. Y'all already know. I don't bring this story in the sense of ha ha 90 boo boo, because I feel like we all one fry short of losing it. And that's just in general in life. It ain't got nothing to do with COVID or anything. We're just one bad decision away. So may God continue to keep us in our right mind. So I'm not bringing it that, but this is crazy to me. She said, I have sinned. My actions were in violation of my vows, my commandments, the law, and all of the above. All sacred and trust that so many had placed in me. I was wrong, and I'm profoundly sorry for the pain and suffering I've caused so many. Before I read on, are you going to give Sister Mary Margaret a pass because she's old? Are you the type? Oh, Robin said absolutely no. She said no. Listen, if you sent Cosby, if you sent insert any other old person, he's the only one I could think of right now. Old people don't get out because they're old. Sis, you knew what you was doing. Let me face the wrong way. Facing the wrong way. You know what you was doing. You got to pay the price. So, my friends, I'm just here to report, but also let you know, Sister Mary Margaret, listen. She said, Sister Mary. Natasha said, I was close. What'd you guess? This woman's name has to be Ruth Ann. Listen, with a cut like that, that's Ruth Ann. Here's the thing, y'all. The bottom line, there's so many get rich schemes. I think I'm getting away with it motives. Don't nobody see me, so I'm surely going to get away with it. And I'm just here to say, y'all, don't do it. It's not worth it because you don't want to end up like Sister Mary Margaret. 80 years old, got to go to jail for a year. And they were being very lenient. And she's around it. Can you imagine the kids that she reprimanded, suspended, took the ruler to, and everything because they did wrong over the course of, what's that, 10 years? So some of her students could be 20 right now. Can you imagine the kids that she suspended for stealing or thinking of popping their hands and everything? And here she is, Sister Mary Margaret, down to the doggone school, stealing from the kids so she can go Campbell. Child, I can't. That's why this is in a ridiculous news section. Cooper admitted to diverting money to pay for personal expenses, the U.S. Attorney General said, including vacations to Lake Tahoe and Vegas. In the letter sent to court, the majority of the parents and students asked that Cooper's face a light sentence, though some asked that she receive the maximum. Me personally, I don't think I would write anything because I just be like, y'all figure it out. But she need to be held accountable. I haven't slept well in God knows how long, Wright said of his struggles with the case during a Zoom hearing, according to the newspaper. He sentenced, this is the judge, he sentenced Cooper to a year and a day in prison, rather than the 2 years prosecutors had requested. Cooper will also have to pay more than $800,000 in restitution to the school, which they will probably never get. So the prosecutor said that the now retired elementary school principal acknowledged that she embezzled the money, donations, tuition. Listen, how many students got their tuition stolen by Sister Mary Catherine and had to repay, go to public school, be ridiculed because the mom, listen, here's the scenario, because you know this happens. The person who is doing all she can, single mom, to make sure she makes the payment so the kid could go to the school. Sister Mary Margaret, that would be the perfect person to steal from, because who are you going to believe? The principal or this lady saying, listen, I gave the money? Child, prosecute. So anyway, let's see. After church officials confronted Cooper about the theft, she said priests receive higher pay than nuns and that she believes she should get a raise, according to the U.S. attorney. Okay, so she didn't admit it right away. They confronted her and she said, what about the priests? Y'all pay them more. Cooper was addicted to gambling, according to her attorney, and she has been kept under severe restrictions at a convent for the last 3 years. Under the conditions the judge say may be harsher than those she'll face in federal prison. BS. So y'all trying to say that prison is less than a convent? Come on. I'm so glad he didn't sentence her to a convent. So what she thought was, oh, I'm not going to pay the price for this. I'm going to run to the convent, and hopefully they will lighten my sentence because, oh, I'm a nun following everything now. Child, bye. Now that is a shame. No, I don't feel bad for her stealing behind. Salute to the chat. Hey, before the billions, good to see you, little bro. Before the billions, yes. So that's the first story in the ridiculous news. Miss Mary Catherine or Mary Margaret, but I be wanting to say, y'all, this next story had me like spinning. All right, where do I begin? A Connecticut school district was asking eighth graders to share their sexual desires in a form or through pizza toppings in a bizarre assignment. Y'all, what the hell is wrong with these teachers? I feel like every week I come out with some dumb story from some dumb teacher that thinks it's a good idea to put forth these dumb assignments. Last week it was Mexicans ugly, United States girl pretty. Go check out that video. This week it's, well, let's talk about sex, but then let's filter it through pizza. Y'all see the graphic. A school district in Enfield, Connecticut asked eighth graders to share their sexual desires in the form of pizza toppings for a school assignment. A mom is outraged because she's like, listen, my son didn't even know what oral was. But thanks to you, you introduced it. The instruction pamphlet was distributed to students in a recent health class at John F. Kennedy Middle School. Whatever happened to separating the girls from the boys, playing the movie from the 1950s with the little lines going up it, giving you the picture. Y'all remember the picture with the outline of the female reproduction system. You had to label it. And I don't even remember if they gave us the male reproduction system in 8th grade. They might not have. I know in high school. What happened to that? What happened to keeping it simple? What's your favorite style of pizza was one of the questions. Your favorite toppings. What are your pizza no-nos? Now mirror these preferences in relations to sex, the pamphlet said. Y'all, woo! Do you understand the letters and everything else that would come from me if my kids came home and said they had an assignment from that? Are you kidding me? Where are these new teachers coming from? Robin, who are these teachers? Who are these people that are claiming to be teachers coming up with this foolishness and mayhem? I don't see your comments yet because I'm reading the article. I'm going to get over there. The instructions offered some suggestions. Here's some. So if you like cheese, cheese means kissing. If you dislike it, it's olives. So add olives if you don't like doing. One parent whose 13-year-old son was in health class told the Daily Mail she was mortified when her son came home with the assignment. I find this all disturbing, another parent said. This stuff would normally be discussed in a safe place in the home. These people, before I move on and look at your comments, these teachers are trying to push their agenda, whether it's heterosexual, LGBTQIA, and all the everything else that follows, and sneaking it in way more creatively, more and more creative. And I'm telling you, stuff like this makes me say, some of y'all, you listen, this is crazy. So 8th grade, now that you know this metaphor is for sex, let's explore your preferences, the pamphlet said. Draw and color your favorite types of pizza. What's your favorite style of pizza? Your favorite top. Why? What are your pizza no-nos? And then I'm going to show y'all this. I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see this, because it says, there you go. This is a mess. I'm so livid with these people. And then I'm going to get to your comments. I think I hear my son laughing. This is wild. So again, this is why Real Talk with Melissa is essential, because I'm not going to just bring news that everyone else brings. You never know when your city, your town, your country is going to be in the news. So you got to hang in there. So anyway, this is why you come to me for news, so we could talk about this. So it says consent is enthusiastic. It's a genuine yes, fluid, it's active and collaborative, and can be given or taken away. Respectful, required. It's required before and during any sexual and consensual activity. Respectful. So they're talking about content. They're saying, consent. Consent is enthusiastic, fluid, respectful, and required. I see nothing wrong with that, because you want to teach your children, you want to teach, especially girls, about consent and what consent looks like, and the fact that they can consent at one part of the sexual act and can actually absolutely say, put the brakes on it. No. And you also want to teach your sons about consent. So I don't have a problem with that too much. But here's the part where they're talking about what's pizza got to do with it. We can use pizza as a metaphor for sex. Y'all see this? When you order pizza with your friends, everyone checks in about everyone's preferences, right? Some people might want vegan, gluten, child. They got a whole, somebody thought about this. The same goes with sex. You have to check in with your partner. This 8th grade, y'all. Now, granted, I know 8th graders be trying to think they know what they're doing. I'm not ignorant to that. But no one should be in school having a conversation and pushing this on people's children. Absolutely not. Let me get in y'all comments. Let's get in the comments. Y'all are, ooh, Lord. So, trash cans, well, wow, those liberal teachers. You know what? It's not just liberal. It's not just liberal, because I was going to bring a different story, because I knew somebody was going to say it. I was going to bring a different story because a district wants the children to be able to identify themselves in their fluid ways or whatever. And then there's some people that the conservatives are like, no. So it's just a mess. So I guess you're right. It is liberal. Anyway, don't get me started on pizza and hot dogs. Please don't. Sodom and Gomorrah has emerged in school. Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah. I wanted to bring this because if you have young children in school, now more than ever, you really need to be concerned in the school. You need to be volunteering. If you're not in there, you have to talk to your children about what's going on. I was talking to my cousin the other day. Somebody asked, what did they ask? The book? Something similar to this. One asked, I buy you a chip if you're gay or something like that. Like, and this is elementary school. So I'm not saying don't talk to your kids, because at this point, y'all better be having these conversations with your kids. This is what I believe, and this is what, and so like the trash can wave said, the liberals are on Twitter losing their mind, because they're like, the kids should be able to talk about what they want. No, they shouldn't. Not in school. Because whether you are whatever you are, like someone said on Twitter, they said, what happened to the days of, I can't talk to you about that? Go home and talk to your parents. And then on your lunch break, you type, Dear Miss Johnson, today during nap times, Chloe said, da-da-da-da. And this is what I said to her. And in certain settings, you write up an incident report and move on about your business. But you don't touch this. Those days are gone, apparently. Those days are gone. And here's the thing. I'm someone that I don't mind having that conversation, but I don't want you having that conversation with my kids. That is unacceptable. Teach reading, writing, arithmetic. These kids can't do cursive, and they definitely probably cannot even fill out a check. That's what y'all need to be worried about. Someone says, I'm saying, wow, this age-appropriate conversation about sex gone wrong, period. Period. It could have been, if that was the health class, it could have been used, but then it's like, what's your preference and all this stuff? Like, no. Shout out to CRT, shout out to liberals. This is what the criteria is. Well, I'm not even going to get on CRT, um, which is not a new concept. That's also something that, for whatever reason, people are losing their marbles about. But I will say this: in the good 2022 Black History Month, you wouldn't need a critical race theory. You wouldn't need a HBCU. You wouldn't need a Black History Month if people felt like our history, other people's history, was a part of American history. Point blank, period. And I don't believe in this notion, and I did report on it last week. I don't believe in this notion that talking about race, the intent is to make somebody feel guilty. But I'm not getting into that. Child, please. We'll get into that another day. Well, I already got into it. Catch the video. Just a mess. Unbelievable. Exactly, Robin. You know it's some meat lovers in the classroom. I can't stand this man. Damn! Who do teachers usually vote for in mass during elections? That's why. It depends. It depends on the district. There's some districts this would have never even flown because it was a very conservative district. This is Connecticut. But again, I know this is happening all across the United States because when I was in researching this story, I see it all the time. The ridiculous news section will be another hour by itself if I went on some of this craziness that people are trying to push on children. And then say, no, we're really not trying to push it. In my opinion, you are. These are conversations that should be reserved for home and for parents to control. Point blank, period. Natasha says, if I go eat the pizza, I'm going to be a super freak. I'm into everything. So you want the deluxe one with all the toppings. Child, let me get out of here. The principal and the teacher needs to be fired, period. Y'all, there was this one story. I'm going to bring it next week. We could talk about it. And this is the flip side, okay? A gay kid got balloons sent to the school. I don't know why I thought this was funny. Gay kid gets balloons sent to the school. The principal got fired because he was seen on the camera popping the balloons. I cannot. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways. It's not just liberals, because here's my thing. Whether you believe that the kids should be gay, whether they got balloons or whatever, popping a child's balloon is not going, you shouldn't have popped a child's balloons. Don't do that. And y'all already know, you got to catch last week's live because I'd already talked about the little girl that was made to eat the cheese sandwich in the doggone, that was thrown away, the grilled cheese sandwich. And come tomorrow, because Lauren and I are going to have a whole bunch of other, that's all we do is talk about foolishness. Anyway, I'm gay for hot dog chips. I'm gay for hot barbecue chips and a drink. Bet. He's like, bet that. So we laugh. Listen, y'all, this is crazy. So tomorrow, if you like today, tomorrow is going to blow your mind because I have some more stories. We just have a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. And so, yeah, I thought this was absolutely crazy. And then the last, this is going to take a little twist. Yeah, y'all, they was popping the little kids' balloons. I was like, y'all ain't have to do that to them kids. Let them kids get their little same-sex balloons, just like the hetero children can get their balloons. Leave them kids' balloons alone. What's that going to solve? He said, not today, not on my watch. And if you're an educator, which I am not anymore, I don't even know if someone can pay me double to go back in the classroom nowadays, but you know you have to keep your personal, in most jobs really, your personal preferences and ideas and everything outside of, but you do, especially as teachers, because you're going to have the parents that are same sex. You're going to have the parents that are actually the grandparents and the kid don't know. Like, it's so many scenarios that happen. So to be poking the poor little kid balloon because you don't believe in their lifestyle really doesn't change anything. Anyway, last story. It's a twist. It's not funny, but y'all, you know what? Y'all might find the humor in it. But why is San Francisco A San Francisco Bay Area is now so bad on having homeless shelters available and having the homeless all over the place that they are now asking their residents to house a homeless person in their own homes. You heard it. You heard it. I don't even know which one I'm gonna do. Let me just do that one. Now here's the thing. I know plenty of people that have a heart for homeless people. I know plenty of people, being someone that is in church, loves God. I know people that have brought people home, washed them up, kept them there, and put them back, or found them a place to stay. I understand all of that. But I think you have a bigger problem when you actually have your city, your town, your state saying, listen, we don't know what to tell you. We don't have it. So, citizens, give us a list, give us your address, and we're going to run the people to your house so that they can come stay with you. Charities are urging local families to take homeless people into their very homes in their spare rooms with little to no compensation. That was my next question. Are you going to pay? Are you going? And see, here's the thing. Like I said, I've known people, I've seen people do it. I've been over someone's house and they brought in the homeless person, and the wife is like, who is that? And I'm sitting there like, well, girl, who is that? And shower, everything. You know the risk involved in that, especially nowadays? Because at least 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, people at least had some decorum about themselves. Nowadays, I don't trust none of y'all. Just kidding. I trust about this many of y'all. Anyway, mayor of Richmond, a city 20 miles from San Francisco, has set up a program to match homeless people with local landlords who have empty apartments. Well, it's one thing to say empty apartments. That's a risk all on itself. And we could talk about that another day because I got to go cook dinner. But there's one thing to say empty apartments, but also you're saying to house them in the house. It will pay the landlords up to a year's rent up front to encourage them to forego the usual credit, employment, and background checks for tenants. I know you lying. Rental property is probably up there with the most aggravating thing that one would have to oversee. So to forego background checks and all, do you know what your house? Leave a comment down below. Would you do it? Some of you may do it. Because y'all know me. I do it for the kids. I do it for foster care in a heartbeat. But I would not do it for the homeless. Absolutely not. He claims he has not faced any concerns about the tenants from who they're going to house. So, but he's like, listen, I'll vouch for them. They're strangers, but that's my man. I'll vouch for him. Please leave a comment down below, especially if you are catching a replay. Let me know if you're going to participate in this. I love when you guys say, oh, wow. I love when you guys are like, what? Because that tells me I am doing my job. Yes, I do breaking news. Yes, I do trending topics. But it's topics like this and moments like this when y'all are like, what? That lets me know, girl, you in there. Anyway, oh, wow. That came out of left field. The parents are really the grandparents and the kids don't know. Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Listen, ask any teacher. Listen. That really happened. I had a student like that. Oh, wow. So that's not my recommendation. I know there's a few cities that provide tiny homes for homeless, which avoids risk of landlords, but also provides home for those in need. Yes, I do know about the tiny home projects. I think Seattle is trying to get something like that. I know that here in Phoenix, we have a huge homeless population, and it is huge. And so the tiny homes come into play. I understand that. But when you ask regular citizens, and again, it reads both ways. One way they're like, hey, you have an extra room, go ahead and house the people. But then also it reads as, hey, if you have an apartment. Both have risk. Both have risk. Number one, obviously, housing people in your house. But then also, let's say you do have rental property. Unfortunately, these people are typically nomadic. Typically, they are not responsible, generally speaking. Now, of course, we know the feel good, true stories. Guy gets cleaned up, that may be something that will transform somebody's life and put them on the right path. Absolutely. You know, help a helping hand to a woman and her kids. Absolutely. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the risk that it involves when you just think about the homeless people that are really into, what's the word, when they squatters. What happens after that year? What happens when they bring their friends or pets you don't want in the place? It's too much for me. She stole my thunder is here. I just read that. Natasha Vincent, bonjour monsieur, tout va bien? I hope I said that right. And I hope I didn't say anything bad. I know I didn't. Anyway, y'all, it's great. Let me see. Yep, I think that's it. That's it. So, for those of you that were tuning in, that was my first story. So you got to rewind. You got to rewind because that was the first one that was in on the scene. But we've reached the end of our live. And yeah, she's saying hello down there, but no, it's time to say goodbye. As I always say, first of all, make sure you tune in tomorrow with Sipping and Just Saying with Lauren, Melissa, and I will be back next week, probably Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, depending on what the news cycle is doing and what I find. But either way it goes, I'll let you know. But definitely, I will be back on tomorrow with Lauren, Melissa. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out the videos that I've uploaded. I've uploaded some stuff, and y'all sat there and was like, "No, you weren't live. Nope, don't want to see it. Go check it out. Don't." And I'll be back. I'll definitely be back. And if you missed the announcement, I will be adding my a show how I used to have one in the beginning of the week because I don't like just coming live on Thursday and then doing the Friday show. Nope, 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 nope. So with that being said, like I said, be kind. Melissa Barron, you did a good job. And I just said, hello, sister. How are you in French? Okay. Melissa, you read I just read your message. I'm good, sis. Hope you are too. Real talk, hello and goodbye. A little under the weather, but good. Oh, you under the weather? Well, hope you are feeling good soon. Been real, hit the like button. Thank you. Point blank, period. Ain't nothing else to say. It's been real. Hit the like button. See y'all tomorrow. And like I always say, be kind because you never know what people are going through. Tomorrow promises to be a great live. So I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow chopping it up, laughing about whatever it is that I find and have found in my handy dandy phone. In the meantime, in between time, you guys be safe, be well, drink some tea, and feel better. Peace. Wait, just kidding. The other thing, if you're watching the replay, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, pound, 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 all that good stuff. But more importantly, what I really like is comments. Make sure you leave a comment on any of these stories. I definitely answer. Those of you that have been around for a while, you know I will answer in the comment section. So make sure you leave a comment and I will answer you guys back. So let me read these last three. Trash can ways to sending you all love and hugs. Get better soon. And good night, Velma. Good to see you. Shannon. I don't know you in the background. Who else? All the rest of y'all. All my new subscribers, because I did get a buttload of them. And so I'm looking forward to more subscribers. I'm out of here. Good night. Just kidding. I'm out of here. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.